What's up? Okay, so I have done this a few times now, and I just want to get it over with, and I just want to showcase some of the things that I find really cool about the new 20XX 4.06 update. This is going to be in one take, so I apologize for my voice, and I apologize for the choppy audio. I want to start off with some of the character costumes that they added, and they added really cool ones. They added for Fox a wolf one, and Falcon has sort of like an illusion is what I'm going to call it. It's see-through. So if we go in-game, we can see what these look like. And these are really cool, personally for me, only because it just shows what we can do with models in Melee. His cheeks are obviously really stretched out, and I think that's really cool in a sense that in the future we're going to have a lot of neat and really just unique custom models in Melee. And this Falcon is see-through, which again is amazing to me. Don't know how they do it. I don't know the slightest clue of what's going on here, but I just know that it's amazing. They still act the same, still play the same. There's no difference in how they play in-game, so you know, you can use them in tourney if you want to. I don't know if your opponent's gonna like you using that, but it's all the same. So next I actually want to go into some of the in-game toggles that they have added. Let's just choose a different costume, why not? So they added a lot of new stages, as you can see. There's Long Destination, which is basically just a huge final destination. You could practice your wave shines on it, I guess, if you really wanted to. They added a Kirby-ware Inc., which is kind of like a Dreamland version of WarioWare stage, if you recall what that looked like in Project M, with like 2 platforms on the left and 2 platforms on the right. If you use the D-pad up to go to the hack stages, you can see that they added some Project M and Smash 4 stages, which look really good in Melee. I was incredibly shocked at how clean they looked. So let's just check out Metal Cavern. You can just see this is Melee HD. Like, this is the epitome of what we all think Melee HD is. Like, I can only assume it's going to get better from here, but I don't see how that's possible, because it looks pretty darn good from where I'm standing. The collisions are all good, so if you ever get bored of playing tourney legal stages with friends, you can just have some fun and play on these sort of wacky stages. I think that's what they're mainly intended for, is to have fun. A lot of the costumes they added, they changed up a lot of the costumes for, you know, characters specifically, and I'm just going to go over some of the ones that I really like. Well, yeah, I mean, just these two. Sorry, just these two. I really like these two. I'm not a Jigs or a Icy's main, but I just like what these look like. Yes, there still is 20XX CPUs. But this Jigs is adorable. It's an alien. It makes getting up throw arrested feel a little bit better. And Popo and Nana are Fox and Falco. I'll kill myself right now so you can see what Falco looks like. Which, again, makes it feel a little bit better when you're getting wobbled. Not a whole lot better, but just enough. Great. Anyways, that's just some of the, you know, costumes I find interesting. You can go through them yourself and see which ones they changed. Pikachu has a really cute one where it's not Pikachu, but it's Ditto. And I haven't seen any of these costumes, so I'm going to have a ton of fun going through all of them and seeing which ones I would like to have. So if we go back, and we go to the debug menu, let's start with some of the texture hacks they added. So each tourney legal stage has a separate texture hack for it, literally what it says on top. And if you go all the way to the right, you can set it to random, so it'll like cycle through all of the ones that it has. And they added slots for you to add your own custom ones. Like, I know there's a Hell version of Battlefield, or certain versions of Yoshi's Story that they might not have added, but you like a lot, or you can make your own. It tells you on the bottom how to create your own textures. You know, I mean, it's all very technical. Definitely not something I would know as of right now. But they do have, you know, some stock ones that you can choose from. So if we choose Yoshi's Story Winter, we can go back, go to versus mode, go to melee, you know, same thing you would normally do. And we can go back to Yoshi's Story, and it's going to be winter themed. Which is a great addition to just add that extra variety in melee. So going back to the debug menu, we can go to game modes, and this is what I personally find really cool. If you go to all-star mode, you can set that there is a human clone controlled by either, you can put no clone, but you can make it to where there's a clone for player 1. So there are 2 characters for 1 controller, or if you're with a friend, you can have player 2 control your clone, so you can do multiplayer all-star mode. But right now I'm just going to showcase what it looks like when 2 characters are controlled by 1 controller. So if we go back and we go to 1 player, regular match, and then all-star. So immediately when you start it up, you can choose your character, and I'm going to be choosing Fox on very easy. And as you can see, there's 2 characters for 1 controller. And that just makes it really cool because you can have double the damage. And they kind of desync, like Icy's basically. But one other thing I found really fun to do in All-Star mode is just like Icy's, you can wobble. And it feels a little bit better, only because it's 2 foxes doing it. And if you have a second player or like a second person in the room with you, you can come up with cool team combos. So this would be a good way to practice those. So if we go back to the versus mode and debug menu, we can go to music codes, and they have added custom playlist for all the legal tourney stages. So you can go to Yoshi's Story and add your own favorite songs. Like right now I have the Power Rangers theme. I think they added like over 80 something songs. I don't know the exact number, but there's just so many songs to choose from that are from so many different games like Street Fighter and Undertale and Pokemon, Tekken even, and you can set which ones you want, and it'll cycle through every time you choose that stage. So you go on top and you can pick, you know, random or single song, and if you go back and you go to that map, it'll play those songs. So the next thing I want to show you is if you go to versus mode and special melee, they have a new thing called tag team, and it's a lot easier to explain if I just show it rather than having to verbally explain it. But if you go in a game with 4 people on, you know, 2 separate teams, only 1 person from each team will spawn, and you can play it as normally and do it, you know, do as you will. And when you're at like a high percent, or if you know you're about to die and you don't want to lose those stocks, you can press down on the D-pad to switch between you and the other person on your team. But if you're alone, or if you're just 2 people, this would be a really great way to practice like dual maining. So for like if I dual main Spaceys, I can have Falco on one and then Fox on the other, and be able to practice both without having to go out of the game and change them, you know, manually. I could set the timer to unlimited, no stocks, and I can just press down on the D-pad to switch between the 2 instantly. So I just think this is a great way to practice dual maining. Like let's say, you know, you're a Falco Young Link main or a Falcon Fox main. You could practice them in one go. You don't have to go back and change them. It's just a little thing that makes, you know, playing this game so much more enjoyable. And another thing that I personally, again, find just so amazing about the new update. So if you go back to the debug menu and you turn the trading, you go to in-game code toggles and you turn the 20xx toggles on, go back to versus mode, I just want to quickly show you some of the new in-game toggles they have. So A and then down on the D-pad, you'll verbally hear a notification letting you know that you inputted the code, and invincible shields come on. And if you press A and down on the D-pad again, it comes off. So one of the cooler ones they added is Y, D-pad left, which shows you the 20XX TE controller display. And it shows you exactly, you know, what your controller's doing, how you're moving, and all that good jazz. So if you press Y right on the D-pad, it'll activate DI trajectories and show you where a character will go depending on how they DI. See, like that? And this is just another thing they added that it just makes this so much more enjoyable and is going to help, you know, newcomers learn, going to help advanced players learn even more. Just make Melee an overall more amazing game. So thanks for watching this really quick and apologetically choppy showcase of some of the things that I found really interesting in the new 20XX update. If there's anything you found interesting, let me know in the comments. I definitely would like to explore this more. There are so many more things that I haven't even touched yet just because of I don't have the time to. They've added so many new things. I'll have a download link in the description in case you're interested in that. And until next time, thanks for watching.